Hi guys. So we should now be live in Facebook. Hope you are having a good Wednesday so far. Let me just click into the Facebook group to see if we are online. So yeah, it looks like we are. So for those of you guys who are joining me at the moment, just send me a quick hello. As I said, I'm always interested to hear where you guys are coming from. So, and similarly on Zoom, for those of you on Zoom, just send me a message in the chat. So I'll leave it just another minute or so, and then we'll jump straight in. So today we're talking about in the title of the talk, why your business feels stuck and what to do about it. So we'll go into some of it's a very, very common thing that I come across. And so we'll go through that, in the next half an hour. So let me just get back into Zoom and share my screen. Let's share screen, and here we go. Okay, let's get into the presentation. So let's get started then. As I said, if any time over the next half an hour, you guys have got questions, just drop me a comment if you're watching on Facebook. If you're on Zoom, send me a Zoom chat message and I will come to those periodically through the next half an hour. So let's get started. So as I said, today is all about those periods when we feel like, we feel stuck in the business. Our business isn't growing, it's not shrinking. All the things that we were doing before don't seem to be working anymore. It's something that is very, very common, and I come across it a lot. Many people who get in touch with me, are wanting for advice on how to sort of get things moving again. So this incidence of business plateauing is very, very common, and really what people say is it's not that I'm not advertising, or I'm not doing my I am spending money on Google ads, I've got an SEO agency, I'm putting money into Bark and Thumbtack, I'm doing LinkedIn, I'm doing lots of different things, and all these things, used to work. Our business doubled, it's, doubled over the last year, or it's gone up 10, 20K a month, at the beginning. And suddenly now things aren't happening. And, we're obviously emerging from, 2 very challenging years with COVID, and that's putting in some complications as well. So, so the fact that your business is sort of plateauing or not growing is very, very common. So that's the first thing to say, don't worry. This is common. There are lots of reasons for that, or there's actually some obvious reasons why that is. We'll go into that, but there are some things that we can do. And once we go through that, it will become very clear what you need to do. And what you'll find is, as your business goes, particularly, there are certain levels, I would say the sort of 300-400K a year revenue level. Again, when you're at sort of 600-700, there is these certain revenue levels where many people seem to come to this plateau, and you just need to burst through the plateau and you get growing, and then you hit the next plateau, then you need to do something different, hit the next plateau. So these stages of plateauing, very, very common. So specific to us in the cleaning industry, what is the reason for churn? What is the reason for our businesses plateauing? And really, as we all know, in essence, we run a very simple business. We have clients on one side, whether they're commercial clients, office managers, or residential clients, or window cleaning clients. And then we've got the people that actually do the work. So, our cleaning crews, our staff members. And the issue is that to grow our business, we need to be both growing the number of clients we're getting as well as the cleaners that we bring in. But the issue is that in both of these groups that we get churn. And churn is for those of you that don't know, is just the natural reduction in the number of clients you get with time, or the natural reduction of cleaners that you have in your company with time. And these can be very, very common and not problematic. So, we will get, for example, on our cleaners, if we were running a residential cleaning company, we would expect a certain number to be moving out to where they're based, moving house, moving property, moving out of the location. There's nothing we can do with that as a business. We also get churn rate for people who are maybe not happy with the service. Maybe they're not happy with the cleaning company or the cleaners that are coming to clean that property, and then they decide to cancel. So this is an example of another type of churn. It's something that is more problematic for our business. It's something that we can do about. But again, this is a contributor to churn. So, we will be filling in the funnel with new clients, but there'll be some leaving the company as well. So this is what churn rate refers to. Client churn is where a lot of people tend to focus, but we also get churn in our cleaning staff. And for those of you who are relatively new in the industry, maybe you've only got a handful of cleaners, you probably aren't seeing the impacts of this yet. But certainly as you go from 5 to 10 to 20 to 30 to 40 cleaners where we are, you start to see a similar sort of churn rate happening with your cleaning staff as you do with your clients. And again, exactly the same reason. You may get some of your cleaning staff moving house, moving out of the city where you're based, or maybe they've got a better job offer and have decided to go to another company. So again, you will get, there are certain churn factors which you can do something about. Obviously someone leaving for a higher pay or a better job is something that you can do something about. Obviously the cleaners that are leaving the company because they're moving house or moving location is something you can't do about. So hopefully what I've done here is reiterated to you guys that in both the client side and the cleaner side, we have both of these groups will churn. And where I'm going with that is that if we are getting clients, cleaners leaving, but we're still getting new clients and cleaners coming into the business, at some stage, one of those or both of those will cancel out. So for example, on the new client side, we may get to a certain month where we've added 10 new recurring clients, but at the same time, we've had 10 come out. At that point, the business doesn't grow because obviously the clients, the revenue generating ones, you can say it in exactly the same way as the cleaners. Say you have, you've onboarded 2 new cleaners this month, but then 2 have left. If they've got the same available time slots, the same capacity, then your business can't grow either because there's not enough availability for you to book in new clients, even if you had them. So that is when both sides, when the number of new clients equals the number of new clients leaving, that is when your growth will basically get to 0. But you can also think about it in terms of your growth rate slowing. So as the business gets bigger, say you get more and more, recurring clients, say we're $1 million business and we've got 300 recurring clients. If we've got the same churn rate, the same number of people churning every month, in absolute terms, the number of people cancelling each month will be bigger for a 300 recurring client business than it would be for a 30 recurring client business. If you are spending the same amount of marketing, the same amount of advertising, and you're bringing in, say 10 new recurring clients a month, if we are a smaller business, then the number of new clients that we bring in minus those that leave is going to give us a positive number. We're going to still be growing, but as the business gets bigger and bigger, the number of churn clients becomes bigger and bigger. And if our marketing spend stays at the same level, what we see is growth starting to come off, and then we get to a stage where the growth stops. And this is what the business, when we talk about businesses plateauing, this is what we are talking about. So hopefully I've made it clear why this happens, why growth slows, and why eventually we will get to to a point where there's no growth in the business. So when we do this type of analysis, the key point here is we need to figure out, is the reason for the business slowing a client issue, a recruitment issue, or both? Because as we know, we could have as much client, we could have all these leads, all these client leads coming in, but if we don't have enough cleaners with if we're not onboarding enough cleaners, if our number of available time slots for jobs isn't growing as well, that is going to be what limits our growth. If we've got lots of cleaners joining us and we've got lots of availability, we can capitalize on this extra demand. So really what we're trying to figure out is what is the key driver of the growth limiter in our business. And it might be the marketing. Maybe we've got lots of cleaners, lots of availability, but our marketing spend is only bringing us X number of clients, and that is completely being cancelled out by the number of clients that are leaving. So we need to look at this. We need to look at things on a client and cleaner basis. We need to look at the churn rate, the number of new clients we're bringing in, as well as the number of new cleaners, and we need to see where the balance is. And this is what this third bullet point here is talking about. Is it a client issue? Is it a recruitment issue? It might be both. And at least by doing this, going through this exercise, we can start to diagnose the core part of the problem. So once we know that, point 4 here on the first section is really, really important, because many people miss this. They may, for example, if we talk about client marketing, maybe they've got in their mind that we are, I'm spending, $3,000 a month on Google Ads, and it's got us great growth over the last few years. 3,000 is what I feel comfortable. I don't really want to go over 3,000. It might be 5,000, might be 2,000, but people often get focused on absolute numbers when they're thinking about marketing or advertising. And the problem with this is, as we said, as our business grows and grows and grows, the churn, the absolute number of clients who leave each month will increase. So the churn rate, the churn percentage rate may stay the same, say it's 5%, but as we get more and more clients on our books, the absolute numbers will be leaving. So as we said, obviously a 30 client cleaning company, there'll be fewer number of clients churning each month, but a 300 recurring client company will have many more clients leaving each month. So what we need to be very aware of at a high level is that as our businesses grow, we need to be spending more and more money on both marketing and recruitment, so that both the number of clients that we have keeps growing, and both the number of cleaners keeps growing as well. Because we need to, if the number of clients and cleaners leaving us each month is growing, just because our company is growing and it's a natural thing, we need to be making sure that the number of new clients we're bringing into the business, the number of new cleaners we're bringing into the business also grows, because we need to replace the higher numbers that churn to make sure that we've still got enough of a difference there so that the company can keep growing. So I hope that makes sense. This is really the main takeaway, is that if your marketing spend, if your recruitment spend stays pretty static for any amount of time, maybe you're not even spending any money, maybe you're just relying purely on referrals of your clients, of your cleaners, whatever it is, if this is all pretty static, what you'll find when you are running and trying to grow your cleaning business is that the growth will just naturally taper off, and you'll get to a stage where there is no growth in the business. And this is the idea of your business plateauing. So really key, we need to look at both sides. We need to figure out if the issue is with both sides or just one side, and then we need to think that to get over that, to get through the plateau, we need to be increasing the marketing spend and the recruitment spend as we go. So what I'll quickly do, I'll just jump into Facebook and to Zoom just to see if we've got any questions. Let's have a quick look. Hi Amber, hi Jennifer, hi Cos, hi Angie. Hope you guys are well. As I said, any questions, feel free to leave those in the group and on Zoom chats, and I can answer them as we go along. So hopefully I haven't lost any of you guys here with why plateauing happens and really from a high level what we need to be doing. So let's get a bit more granular on it now. So we know that if our business is plateauing, we know that it's probably due to our marketing spend or our marketing channels or recruitment channels not changing. We need to give it a further kick. So what can we specifically do to get this thing growing again? So point one here on the second section, how can I get growing again, is really the key. This is the way to manage your business. And what I've said here is that we want to move from an absolute based approach to a percentage based strategy. So what that means is that, let's take the example of the business owner. As I said a few minutes ago, they're spending $3,000 a month on Google Ads. They've done this for the last couple of years. The business has grown really well. 3,000 is what they feel comfortable with. They don't want to spend more than 3,000, even though their business has grown. This would be an example of an absolute based approach. So $3,000 for marketing. This is what we're going to spend. But once we realize that this is probably the reason why the company has stopped growing, once we realize that and we know we need to spend more money, how much more money do we need to spend? And this is where moving from an absolute based approach to a percentage based strategy is really basically the way to do things. And what you guys will find as you grow your business, as you get to 250K, 500K, $1 million plus, is that KPIs, key performance indicators, it's something that I talk about a lot. I've talked about it in previous lives. It's really, this is the way that you grow your business, by being on top of all these key performance indicators. And a lot of the key performance indicators revolve around looking at percentages rather than absolute numbers. So when I talk about percentage-based strategy in this case, we are talking about what is our marketing spend as a percent of our revenue. Say we are generating 10K a month in revenue. If we are spending 1K a month in marketing, 1 divided by 10 is 10%. So we are spending 10% of our revenue on marketing. So if we decide that 10% is a good number, let's just keep the maths equal. If that takes us from 10K a month to, so we spend a K a month today, and that allows us to grow our business from 10K a month to 20K a month. If we are still only spending 1K a month at 20K a month, it should be fairly obvious from what I've set up here. At 20K a month, we've got more clients, there'll be more leaving. That 1K a month, if we keep it at the same level, isn't going to be enough to grow our business. We've grown from 10K a month to 20K a month. We've doubled the business. We're not going to be able to double the business again if we keep that marketing spend at the same level. So by moving to a percentage-based approach, this allows us to really have a structured and disciplined approach to growing our marketing spend with our business. So if we keep it 10%, we go from 10K to 20K. So at 20K, 10% of 20K is now $2,000 a month. So now our business has grown to 20K a month. We are now increasing our marketing spend to $2,000 a month. And we'll probably be able to grow from that point onwards. So let's say it goes from 20K to 30K. At 30K, we increase we use the same percentage, 10%. That means that we get to 3K a month. And what you find is that by using this simple approach, we don't go from going from 3K to, let's try 4K a month, or 4K feels a bit high. I'm just going to stay at 4K for a couple of months. Actually, I'm going to reduce it because we've had a quieter month. By using a percentage-based strategy, this keeps us really, really disciplined. Percentages are so important. I talk about labor cost as a percentage of revenue. We want to be thinking about our marketing cost as a percentage of revenue. We want to be maintaining this 20% profit margin, you know, in a structured way as well. So running our business in terms of percentages rather than absolute numbers is really key, you know, particularly as you grow your business further and further. So we talked about client marketing. Cleaner recruitment, we need to be thinking of it in exactly the same way. So as I said, you know, many of you who have, you know, are relatively early in your businesses, maybe you've only got a few cleaners, this is probably not as important. But certainly when you are, say, 10 cleaners, 15, 20 cleaners plus, you will be likely spending money on advertising. It's probably on Indeed and Facebook, you know, there are other channels as well. But again, we need to be using the same approach, you know, at 30 cleaners, you know, we will expect more to leave each month than we would do at 3 cleaners. So with this in mind, we need to think, okay, we need to increase our recruitment spend as we grow our business. It's important that we increase the marketing spend and the recruitment spend. We need to be increasing both sides, you know, as we grow our business, because as I said up here, what ultimately limits the growth of the business is where the bottleneck is. So we need to be growing both. If we grow one and not the other, it will be the one that is we neglect that will limit the growth of the business. So we want to be thinking of our recruitment spend as a percentage of revenues as well. So now that we know we need to go from an absolute to percentage base, what do we do next? And this 10% number is I think always a good start. It's what I do within my business. So the way we look at it is that we allocate 10% of our revenue each month to a combined marketing and recruitment pot. You could say. So we know that if we are doing 50k a month, 5k a month is on marketing recruitment combined. At 100k a month, then it's 10k. So by doing that, we are increasing the spend. It allows us to you know, blast through these plateaus as we get towards them. But why the combined pot? And this is something I don't know if I've not come across other business owners using this type of combined approach before. But as we all know, unfortunately, the growth of clients that we bring in and the growth of cleaners that we bring in is never smooth, you know, particularly on the recruitment side. We may have a great week and we may onboard, you know, 2 or 3 cleaners one week, and then we might not bring anyone else for the next, you know, 3 weeks. So there is very much a step up, a step down. You know, it's not a continual growth. So the reason why we use this combined approach is because the number of clients that we have and the number of cleaners we never get this perfect equilibrium. We either have too many clients, not enough cleaners, too many cleaners, not enough clients. So by using this combined approach, this allows us to tweak things whilst continuing to increase money in this pot. So say we have this 10% level. Okay, we're at 50k a month. We know that we have to spend 5k a month to continue to grow our business. In this month, we have lots of cleaners. We don't have, and we've got loads of capacity. We don't have enough clients to fill these cleaner diaries. We're scrambling around for, you know, jobs. So what we will do is, say in a normal month, maybe it would be 5% to client marketing, 5% to cleaner recruitment, maybe because at the moment we have a lot more cleaners than we have clients. Maybe we skew this. We say, okay, 7.5% of our revenue this month is going to go to marketing, 2.5 is going to go to recruitment. We could go even further, 9% and 1%. So in this way, we can tweak the balance. We can look day to day, month to month at how the balance between clients and cleaners is placed, and then we can tweak this. But by using this 10% idea, as the business grows, it makes sure that we continue to get to grow the business, because this pot is growing as the revenue of the business continues to grow as well. So as I said, I've not come across anyone who uses, many people will say we need to use X% of revenues for marketing. And this is great, but if you don't have enough cleaners, then you can spend as much money on marketing as you want, but you won't get the revenue because the cleaners aren't available to do the work. So this combined approach allows us to tweak that as we go along. So I hope that has been helpful for you guys. As I said, very common business plateauing. We need to, hopefully this is, once we are told about this, once I tell people that this is the reason, it's very clear. People can't, people don't understand why it happens to begin with, but once you go through this idea or what happens in the business that is very characteristic, then it becomes very, very clear. Okay, we get churning cleaners and clients. Okay, we need to grow both to grow our business. Okay, that's fine. How do we grow both? We need to spend more money on marketing, more money on recruitment, or we need to increase the number of channels. It doesn't necessarily need to mean that we need to spend more money. We could be looking at free channels. We could be building partnerships with local service businesses. We could be building partnerships, or we could be, introducing a referral program for our cleaning staff where they get paid each time a new cleaner is referred to our business. So it doesn't necessarily mean more money, but it means that we need to be getting more of the clients in, more of the cleaners in as we grow. So once we know that, it then becomes, more granular. How do we approach it? We want to be thinking of a percentage-based strategy. And that is the way that we keep very disciplined. And as the business grows, we are giving the business ample fuel to continue to grow. So this percentage-based approach gives us that discipline, that structure. And, as I said, finally down here, a way that is, whether it's a 10% combined pot, 5%, 15%, obviously the more that you allocate to this, the quicker you'll grow. But then, this percentage has to come from somewhere. Maybe you decide that for these next 6 months, I just want to focus on growing my business. I'm prepared to take a 10%, profit margin because I want to grow my business. So what that number is will obviously depend on your specific circumstances. But, if you start with 10% for your combined pots, that is a good place to start. And then you can look at how you split that 10% up, depending on your specific balance between cleaner capacity and client demand as well. So I hope you guys have found that helpful. What I'll just do is I'll quickly check if there's any questions. As I said, if you guys are watching this on the replay, you can just drop me a comment, and I can come back to any questions further down the line. So I'll just have a quick check. So it looks like we are all good. So as I said, I hope you guys found that helpful. If you did, please click like, drop me a comment. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. This all just really, really helps me. And if it's been helpful for you, it will get it out to more people. So, this is something that, as I said, is very, very common. I obviously go into it in a lot more detail in my coaching program, the 7-Figure Cleaning Academy. I will drop a link in the comments for you guys that are interested to take more of a look at that as well. So we're just coming up to past now, so I'll log off. But hopefully, this has been helpful. I hope you have a great rest of the day, and I will see you guys next week for next week's session. All right, then. Many thanks.